Welcome to BizTV's Beyond the Brand. I'm Kelli Phillips. Today I'm joined by Toni King, who has spent nearly 30 years helping retirees untangle the Medicare maze. Toni is on a mission to ensure that what you don't know about Medicare doesn't hurt you. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more of BizTV's Beyond the Brand. Often called America's Medicare life coach, she spent nearly 30 years untangling the Medicare maze for thousands of confused retirees. As a nationally recognized advocate and author of the Medicare Survival Guide Advanced, she's on a mission to ensure that what you don't know doesn't hurt you. Please welcome Toni King. And Toni, before we get started, if you would, give us a little bit about your background. Where'd you grow up? What was life like? And what led you to help folks with Medicare?
Well, I am what you consider a true Texan. And I got started, I live in the Houston area, and my ex-husband had decided that we were going to move to Mississippi in 2007, and that's when Medicare Advantage plans started. Mm-hmm. And a gentleman came to my workshop, and he didn't need my help, but he called me about a week later and made a change in my life because he had called Social Security, got the wrong information from them. He used the words company insurance when he was on retirement benefits. And Social Security told him, don't enroll in Part B. Went in the hospital the next month, got a stent put in his heart, and it cost him over $10,000.
Oh, goodness.
So I knew the answer, and I took what's called the Medicare and You Handbook, which this is what we got right here. Mm-hmm. And I put it in people terms in my book, which is right here, and made it simple so people can understand what's going on with Medicare. That's how I got started, literally. And I'm not a rocket scientist.
You said you're not a rocket scientist, so it was just you wanting to help other people. What sort of clinic were you giving that this man was at? Were you into insurance?
I'm an insurance agent. And I was doing a workshop for an insurance company during what they call Medicare open enrollment time, which is from October 15th through December 7th. Mm-hmm. And I was doing that in 2007. And that's when all the Medicare Advantage plans were just getting started. And things have literally grown. I am in over 70 newspapers nationwide. And people need to realize that with Medicare, it's what you don't know that will hurt you. Not today, but for the rest of your life.
So is it not true at 65, everybody has to sign up for Medicare and Medicare is Medicare is Medicare? Or what's the difference?
Well, it depends on what your situation is. If you're turning 65 and not working, or you have an individual health plan, you want to get on Medicare because that's the best insurance there is. If you're past 65 and still working, you might want to look at it. Some people go and sign up for Part A and Part B and they're wasting their money.
Why do you say that?
They don't need to do it. There's certain rules. And Medicare has 3 family members. You have the IRS, Social Security, and Medicare, and they process everything. Medicare does not know how to enroll you. Social Security does all the enrolling. But the IRS tells Social Security how much money you made.
So how are you helping people? Do they come to you individually as they're approaching Medicare age?
Yes. They call me. We set up a consultation. I charge a fee for it. It's not a whole lot for the consultation, and I guide and direct them because some people are federal employees. Some people have company insurance when they retire. I mean, there's a whole different situation. I had a gentleman come here because I'm in the Houston area that reads my article out of Clear Lake where NASA is, and he put Neil Armstrong on the moon. He couldn't understand how to get on Medicare.
Why do they make it so complicated?
Because they want to control you.
So that's where you come in.
It's all about rules. Yeah.
So what's the number one thing that people miss during the initial enrollment period that leads to those famous lifetime penalties that folks talk about?
One thing that they miss is not enrolling in Part B at the right time. Okay, not knowing that you've got a window that you can enroll in Part B without getting the Part B penalty that lasts forever. The other thing that they miss is not enrolling in a prescription drug plan with a Part D prescription drug plan. Because if you don't enroll in it, let's say you don't take any prescriptions, you're on vitamins. If you don't roll in something, then the penalty goes all the way back to the day that your Part A started.
Can you go through
that? Can be, yeah.
Can you go through the different parts, A, B, C, D?
Well, you got A and B. That's original Medicare. Medicare got started July 30th, 1965, when LBJ, President Johnson, flew to Independence, Missouri, and signed this in front of Harry Truman. Truman lobbied for 20 years for Medicare and Medicaid. The cost of Medicare was $40 once a year, and the premium was $3. Now the cost has just exploded, and the amount of money that you're paying for your Part B is $209 for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it changes every year. It started with $3. And so people need to realize that they've just got to get everything together and know what's the right thing to do. What if you work for your company until you're 80 years old or 90? Then you don't need to enroll in Medicare. What if you have an HSA? There's a whole rule for that. So HSA is a health savings account.
And then what about Part D that you've talked about? What is that?
Well, you need to, whenever you get on Medicare, you go online and you open up a Medicare.gov account and you put your prescriptions in and you pick what prescription is best for you. Okay?
Okay.
You don't let somebody, right now we've got call centers that are all over the world calling people. There's 69 million people on Medicare right now. There's 10,000 turning 65 every day. One person is getting on Medicare every 8 seconds a day.
Wow.
So, yeah. So the ball game is just growing. And you just don't answer the phone. You're getting somebody from India calling you, and they send your information to a company here in Houston or a company in the United States, and then you may not even need their plane. You're just bombarded with everything.
So what can people do? What are some steps that they can do in preparation for turning 65 to know how to answer some of these phone calls?
Don't answer them. Don't let don't answer the call. Don't answer the email. Find somebody in your area that you feel confident about, or they can call me on my because Medicare's nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
The rules here in Texas are the same as in New York and Maine and Florida and California. I mean, you've got to be protected because the penalty doesn't just last for today, it lasts for the rest of your Medicare life.
And that can
Forever.
be a lot of money. Toni, we need to take a quick break. If you would stick around, and we'll talk more Medicare when we come back.
That works for me.
Be sure to scan the QR code on your screen to sign up for BizTV's monthly newsletter, The Biz Beat, where you'll get articles, business news, and columns by BizTV's personalities, all sent directly to your inbox. And we're back with Toni King, who is also known as Miss Medicare. And Toni, let's talk about the differences between supplemental versus advantage plans when it comes to Medicare. What are the pros and cons?
Well, that's a big difference. Yeah. That's a major difference that people need to realize. They think they want to save their money. They want to pay zero for a Medicare Advantage plan. You don't want to pay a premium, but you don't realize you're giving up your control of your health care. With a Medicare supplement, it works with Part A and Part B of Medicare. You pay whatever your deductible is for that year, and you pick where you want to go to the hospital and doctor. I'm on a Medicare supplement. Best insurance I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas, my premium, and I'm 70, I've turned 70. My premium is about $170 a month, and my out-of-pocket for 2026 is $285. That's it. And I'm in control of my health care. When you get on an advantage plan, and some companies have advantage plans, you have retiree benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to look at it and see what best meets your needs. I mean, MD Anderson in the Houston area has an excellent reputation. They do not accept HMOs. So you want to, you're not going to be in the same health when you get older. Christopher Reeve didn't plan on falling off a horse to change his life. So there's different things that you got to do, and you got to be in control, not let somebody else in control. If you're older, then get your adult children to help you. Let somebody else know what's going on with your health care.
What about Part D? I know that there are a lot of changes that have happened with Part D.
Well, it's kind of leveling off right now. The changes happened 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it's leveling off a little bit. They're getting more in control of the prescription drug cost. But you've just got to open yourself up a Medicare.gov account when you get a Medicare card and put your prescriptions in there and pick which Medicare Part D plan best meets your needs.
So someone who's about to turn 65, they call you. What do they need to go through with you to figure out which plan is best for them?
We sit down and we ask them questions. We want to know what their situation is. Are they healthy? Do they have, Parkinson's or dementia or Alzheimer's or heart issues? What's their situation? And then we help them pick a plan that best meets their needs. When people get original Medicare, when they're first getting on Medicare, you can get a Medicare supplement without having to answer one health question. But after the 6-month window, then you've got to answer health questions. So if you go with an Advantage plan and you have a serious health issue, and now you want to go to a doctor in Dallas, or you want to go into New York, or you got to go to Mayo Clinic because you got a specific health issue, you may not be able to do it. But with the original Medicare, you just make the call and you set the appointment up. You're done. You're in control. How's that sound?
That sounds amazing. Are there some common misconceptions out there about Medicare that you can go over?
Yes, there are definitely.
Tell
People
us.
think that they can always get a Medicare supplement, but if they have a heart attack or they got cancer, they can't answer the health questions. People think that they don't need a prescription drug plan. They don't realize that the penalty is 1% of the average cost. So right now it's about 40 cents a month and goes all the way back to the day that your Part A started. So if you got 10 years, that's 120 months times 40 cents on top of the cost of the prescription drug plan. How's that?
What are some digital tools that will best defense against the new wave of Medicare scams that we have out there right now?
Don't give anybody your information. If they tell you that they need your Social Security number, hang up. I had a friend whose father got a phone call saying that his grandson was in the jail and they needed $5,000 to bail him out.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to a pharmacy and Western Union $5,000 to these people, and it was a scam. The grandson was fine.
So what can folks do? Do they just call and double check with their grandson before they just believe somebody that they have no idea who they are?
Yes, you have people that are knocking on doors. Dr. Oz did a video back in August because people were knocking on doors telling them, give me your Medicare information, we'll get you the cost from hospice. And they will pay you for that cost that's going for hospice, even if you don't have hospice. That was a gigantic scam.
Mm-hmm.
There's something like $100 billion scammed worldwide. So,
yeah. Talk about the long-term healthcare gap. Does Medicare cover nursing homes, long-term care?
Does Medicare, that's something that's very important. You're going over everything. This is exciting. That's something that's very important because Medicare only gives you 100 days in a skilled nursing facility. If you don't meet the needs, you have to pay 100% out of your pocket. But if you've got to have 5 years in a nursing home, you're going to pay 100% out of your pocket. So people need to get the right plan. They need to realize they're nothing more than a walking dollar sign. Right, you know?
That's sad to think.
Yeah, it's not any fun. I mean, your parents, they really didn't have to. My mother didn't really have to go through this because she was older, but they're really marketing. The boomers are really getting it right now.
Yeah.
And you're a walking dollar sign. Oh. You know, it's just terrible. And I'm not sure how AI is working towards this, but I don't think it's to our favor.
No, I think you're right there. What's the most common question you get from people that come in that have questions about Medicare?
How do I enroll in Medicare? What do I need to do? And that's pretty much it.
You go through that with them? You sit down with them and...
Yes.
So
who would ever thought that the guy that came to my workshop and had an issue would totally change my life and I'd start a whole new industry?
Well, there are probably some folks out there wondering how they can get in touch with you. So, Toni, how can they do that?
Well, I am Toni with an I and not a Y because I'm a girl. So my website is ToniSays.com. My email is info@ToniSays, ToniSays.com, or they can call the office at 832-519-8664.
And it doesn't matter where they are.
Doesn't matter. Even if you're in Puerto Rico, we can help you. Even if you're I've helped people that are coming home from working in China or Vietnam or Africa because they got to come back to the States. I have helped Canadians that are coming back to the United States. So there's all sorts of rules. And when you call Social Security to ask them something, they're only going to answer the question you ask. That's what happened to Jim Davis. He told them he had company insurance when he had retirement benefits. Big difference.
Yeah.
And it cost him over $10,000.
Toni King, thanks so much for your time today. The author of Medicare Survival Guide. Of course, you can find her ToniSays.com. That's Toni with an I. Toni, thanks again. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching BizTV's Beyond the Brand. Be sure to subscribe to the BizTV YouTube channel, where you'll find full episodes of this show, fresh BizTV content, and a few surprises each week to help you stay inspired.